Alright. Ever X is zeroth. It's been a while since we had a zeroth Ever X. And I wonder if he 10 cleans his apartment. Not even going to read the rest of the sentence. The answer is no. Not to the loading music or any other music. I just don't clean my apartment. That's all. Alright, so. I want to foolishly say that we're nearing the end of the game, but that's not a conclusion that I can jump to. I will say that I think, like, after doing a little bit of thinking about where we've come in the last stream or two, I kind of wonder if there will be 3 different, like, ways to end the game. One related to solving the case, of the hanged man. One related to finding out about yourself. Because we really had, they gave these 2 or 3 tiny little hints about, you have this past where there was this woman and she died or left you or you left her, and we got a bunch of it early on and then never really found anything else out. I don't know if I missed some leads that I could have gotten or if there will still die in the first minute. Yep. I could have immediately run to my spaceship, put in the launch codes, and then flew into the sun. True, that's an ending. And then the third ending being finding out about the world in some way. It may even be that more than one playthrough is needed in order to get a true ending. I'm not sure what's going to happen when we beat the game. If it somehow just loops back around and is like, yeah, now you're back at the beginning, but you lost your memory. But we'll see. I seem to have been really just following the murder plot all last stream and maybe the stream before it. There's also, I'm a tiny bit disappointed to have found out from someone that the whole world where this takes place in was apparently like a role-playing game world that they, like a tabletop role-playing world that they came up with, and then later, I guess, wrote this game and were like, oh, we'll put this game in that world, because I'm not sure that it actually fits. Like, it as much as I haven't minded the exposition dumps where they're just like, here is for half an hour, here is the history of the world, and it's like, it's a really interesting world, but if it isn't actually, like, if it winds up not ever being relevant to the story, then I'm not, or like the main story, whatever that turns out to be. Right, yeah, from someone who said that, not that I'm mad at them or anything, but just that it is a little bit like imagine if you had a really good movie, and then you were like, let's make it half an hour longer, because I had this, in college, I wrote this whole thesis paper about Moby Dick, and this movie doesn't have anything to do with Moby Dick, but I'm just gonna put, 4 6 or 7 minute conversations in the movie about what Moby Dick is about. And it's like, you could have just done the game without, or you could have done the movie without that, though. That's fine. At least you can talk, which you accuse me of not being able to do. I also, even though I'm sitting here like, oh man, like the game has gotten so small because we solved all of the tasks, there were way more quests that I could have gotten and didn't, and we'll see on other playthroughs. I shouldn't act like, oh, I fully found everything in the whole game. I really did not. So we were waiting for 2200 for somebody to show up at the boardwalk, and while we're waiting, perhaps I will stand here in the rain and read my ledger some more, because there's still stuff in there. Read a case file. The square bullet hole murders. Oh, it even... I never caught that before. It flat out tells me that this will take up half an hour. Eat up half an hour of time. So that's great. I maybe we'll read all 3 of these while we're waiting for her. It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, in her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape. But that's all you got. From the half hour you've spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead. A sequence killer? Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next? One day you may still catch the man with the square gun. Okay, well, that was all for that, and didn't eat up an entire half hour. So continue reading. The couch in an unexpected location. Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it in the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, at an unexpected location. They were young and they thought they looked cool on it. They look like assholes. Insufferable dicks. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got a complaint about the damn sofa or couch, whatever it was. They were leaving it in all these unexpected and whimsical locations they took it to, where they also took photos of themselves on it, and smoked cigarettes, and drank coffee because they felt it's intellectual. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up, and you did, so congratulations to you. Case solved. Did I ever catch those guys? No. You didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have... You didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next? Alright, the person should be there now. Should I read this anyway? Murder at the hookah parlor? I think I will. Murder at the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who is now dead, of circumstances completely unconnected to murder at the hookah parlor. Quay? I guess... You've probably heard Quay, K, and Key. I don't know. Like, when I immediately saw it, I was like, Quay. But then I'm like, oh no, okay. If it was the name of a thing, would I say like Key? Who knows? English. How? Beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Stop stalling and get on with the murder at the hookah parlor. Right, on with the murder. Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve. Was doing it solo. Said it was a real nutcracker. A real brain twister. Was on it for like a month. The captain got impatient. Shit or get off the pot, Mills. Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't solve the murder at the hookah parlor. Tough case, he said. Toughest he's ever had. Was Joseph Mills a good cop? No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. Said that the murderer had vanished into thin air. That goddamn hookah parlor was all he talked about. Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum-flavored vapor all day. Bubblegum? You don't smoke, like, opium? It's soot and water vapor. It doesn't do anything. It's stupid. Yeah. Garrett, hey? Yeah, so anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open right on the floor of the hookah parlor in the middle of the day. No one else is in there. Only client that day. In perfect health, too. Some kind of movie producer. No one enters. No one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls. Nothing. Just sucking on the hookah till 15:45. Then, bam, he's dead on the floor with his skull busted open. Blood everywhere. What happened? How can it be? Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin? Movie deal gone sour? Girl at the counter did it? Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Table's low, heavy, really sharp edge. He sucked hookah, stood up, passed out, hit his head on the table, and died? See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, that was it. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply. I tried not to stumble over 15:45, but we really never write times that way. Ever. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply. You don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom. What was he doing there for 6 hours? Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was the murder at the hookah parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next. Okay. The rain has ceased. Nope, it's still raining. Alright, am I afraid this person's gonna shoot me? Should I put on the armor? Bing! And should I don't want my empathy low, right? I don't want my perception low either. These, encyclopedia is fine. Maybe I want more perception. Yeah. Yeah. In fact, we refer to that as military time. The white ceramic cuirass hugs your torso, shielding your vitals without adding much bulk to your form. Your movements cause tiny little clicks, like dice rolling somewhere far away as the plates reorient to your motions. It is good to be an unstoppable ceramic man. Remember, this is a highly specialized kinetic redistributor meant to stop bullets. Wear it. Observe its properties. See if there's a weakness in the design. For the day you have to fight someone covered in the same material. It really hurts to punch this armor. A sword wouldn't leave even a scratch. A bullet would bounce right off. Still, there must be some flaw in it that would allow you to stand your ground against this dangerous enemy technology. You just have to figure out what it is. Possibly by beating yourself while wearing it? Shooting yourself? Let's see. Military time, also commonly known as time. Is this interesting enough to become our 12th? Our 12th thought? This one seems more interesting, right? Bankruptcy sequence has something to do with money, I bet. Money. Johnny Normal Cop. Excuse me. I think this is yeah, this one, the Insulindian Miracle. That's what I want to think of. Thank you. Thank you for your European custom. Is it up here? This is the building. We're going to meet someone right over here, right?
Put your hands where I can see them.
The hell? The aging woman under a mountain of police paraphernalia mumbles to herself, then notices you and reaches for the megaphone.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands right now!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
Easy, ma'am. Take it easy.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer under duress! Officer under duress!
Her eyes bulge with terror. Veins protrude on her forehead.
I am the police! Don't move! Don't move! Hands on your head! Suspect is armed and dangerous!
A proper alternative English word? I guess there's really no reason to say anything. Like, it's just a thing. It's just a thing to say sometimes. All right, I'm gonna say I'm not moving.
Suspect is on the loose! Suspect at large! Officer administers street justice at her own peril! That one extra lick with a baton or extra knee strike above what was actually required! Suspect is under control! Suspect is under control!
I don't think we're gonna be able to reason with her.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her up.
The situation looks bad. Calm yourself. Steady your breathing. You'll have to go for the gun sooner or later. Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do. I could just leap for it right now. So me hello! You want the real police to be like this. Giant bulbs on their back and a hand-cranked siren. This is dangerous. You're 70% certain you always leave your gun loaded. What is happening? Well, it would be difficult to sum up. Alright, I'm not going to tell her to lower the weapon. I'm not going to tell her we are the police. I'm going to say, please identify yourself, ma'am. It's the goddamn police, shitbag, she yells into the megaphone. Hug the pavement, you're under arrest. As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs? I'll ask her about it. Are you on drugs? Confiscated contraband! The megaphone makes her voice almost painfully metallic. Restricted access, 2 kilos missing, eyewitness report compromised. I don't think she's on drugs. The lieutenant whispers, being off drugs might actually be the problem here. I'll just say we can... Yeah. We can resolve this peacefully. Please lower the weapon. Officer in need of assistance. Her eyes dart between you and Kim. Suspect at large. Get on the ground. Ma'am, please. The lieutenant is trying to maintain eye contact. We want to help you, but we need you to lower that weapon. Let's just talk, alright? Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot. Her head snaps at you. Big red key. Big red key. Big red key? That's code for the battering ram. Cop talk. You know this. There's a possibility that she's just going to wind up shooting without me even getting to like, make a roll. I'm gonna say this, though. You're not the police. We are the police. Back up? She lowers the megaphone halfway, but immediately raises again and screams, back up, back up! Status unconfirmed. Here we go. This is good that I know everything about myself and him and us. Lieutenant W. Freighter Harrier Dubois, 41st Precinct. This is my partner, Lieutenant Kitsuragi from the 57th. No, the crazed woman mumbles. No, no, no. I thought Mr. Morand, Gareth. She suddenly raises the megaphone and screams, "Aggravated assault! Man down! Officers in pursuit!" There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now. It has nothing to do with what's happening here. What's the situation? Lieutenant hesitates, addressing the woman. Officer. Law enforcement compromise, she screams into the megaphone. Red and blue lights illuminate the spit flying everywhere. Impersonating a police officer! Does she not believe you two are actually police officers? What if she's right and I actually am an imposter? Oh, I'm not wearing my police coat. If I take out my badge, she might shoot. Right? She might. Yeah, I bet if I... I think it's a woman. It's supposed to be a woman. And yeah, that, like, that's just constant cranking. While holding the gun, I mean... I should be able... Oh, man. If I say white rectangle, I'm not wearing my thing that has the white rectangle on it. Alright, I'm gonna say you're the one impersonating a police officer. Resisting arrest, confined quarters, drop your head. She bashes the megaphone against her head repeatedly, then screams into the bloody mouthpiece. Come in, dispatch, come in. Fuck, civilian engagement. Alright, well, I didn't get any bonuses, but I'm gonna have to jump. Yeah, he does. He's got the rectangles on. I don't know how making her more convinced that we were the police would improve my hand-eye coordination roll, but I'm going for it. Alright, here's how we do it. As soon as that gun isn't pointed at you again, you dash right, then immediately close the distance. Left hand grabs the barrel. Right one grabs the wrist. No, that won't be necessary. Look closer. The gun, all three barrels, red and blue light shining through. It's not loaded. Kim, I'm almost certain. So visual calculus is good. Alright, he did a great job. I'll whisper to Kim first. I'm almost certain there are no bullets in that gun. Huh? The lieutenant studies the swaying firearm. My god, I think you're right. Ma'am, the weapon you're holding is mine, and I know it has no bullets. What? The woman looks at the weapon in disbelief, her eyes suddenly reddish with tears. She looks straight down the barrel and squeezes the trigger. Wait. A click. Whew! That would have been a bad time to be wrong. She just points the gun at herself and pulls the trigger. Oh my gosh. It's Nagito! Nagito Komaeda made it into this game. A click. Nothing happens. She looks at the useless weapon. This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. What is this? The gun lands on the wooden planks and tears run down scratched cheeks. Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this? Grab the gun right now. It might be your only chance. Leave it behind forever. Why is it going away forever? What's going to happen? Is a hole in reality going to open up and swallow the gun? I'm going to pick up my gun. Villiers 9mm pepper box pistol. No one ever cares anymore. Her voice is growing fainter as she rocks back and forth slowly. Why would they cheat me like this? This limbed and head what? Limbed and headed. I don't get it. That's a good conceptualization roll, though. This limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is grinding to a halt. Tired of walking the desert, it doesn't want to feel or think anymore. Poor woman. The lieutenant holsters his pistol. We need to figure out what to do with her now. Nobody's ever around, the old woman mumbles, staring blank at the boardwalk. Nobody ever comes to visit me. What do you think is happening to her? She's in stupor, the lieutenant replies. Yeah, that's what I figured eventually. Also, hi, Serp. Inspecting the catatonic woman standing in the dark. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. But why was she like this in the first place? Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. He lowers his voice. Dementia and Channel 8. And loneliness. Neurodegenerative disease. Could be. Her hands were trembling, and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we going to do? I'm very sorry this is how life turned out for you. Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there. Should we just arrest her? I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without the gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. But there are more guns in the world, and she could get one. We could let Titus... Oh, okay. Alright. Let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. Was really hoping I could give her one of those station call slips. I'm like, I just really want to arrest somebody, but I have already arrested somebody. I got it out of my system. I don't want to endorse the Hardy Boys' inflated sense of self-worth. They're not cops, we are. Even though they're not cops, they are probably the best people to handle this, though. We can ask them once we get back to the warring. We have to hurry because it's late and they might have already gone home. I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done. As you turn to leave, the faintest of voices comes from the woman. Please leave the radio on, she mutters. It's like a reflex, a half-remembered sentence. Reflex to what? Being left alone? She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and flashers now. Maybe if you search her once more? The woman stands, slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there, too. You're thinking of taking them? Do! Confiscate the narcotics. Wink. Did you just say wink? I'll pick up the RCM cap. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Oh, is that yours? It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours. Probably. You know me. It's your hat. Doesn't really confiscate the narcotics. You take the phial of perholidon and the bottle of speed as evidence, obviously. She didn't consume them. She didn't look high. She confiscated them, a little like you were doing now. You're taking those, aren't you? You're taking those, are you? Volition wants me to look. Volition, don't look at me like that. I'm not low on perholidon, right? Oh, fine, you take them then. Thank you. I'm doing this to help you. We need to focus on the case. He's grateful you did this. Alright. Unfortunately, though, it is half midnight. Right? Isn't that what you say? Isn't that what you guys say when it's this time of day that I can't pronounce? It's half midnight. Why 12, though? Why 12? 12 is noon. 12 is in the middle of the day. This is clearly either 24 or 0. Oh, wait, am I wrong? When do you say half? Before or after? Is this half 11 because it's 11 and a half? Aha. Okay. In Austria, it's before. Good. I'm glad nobody is consistent. Just like the metric system. SMH. That's not fair. Why are they already gone? How was I supposed to do this in the same day? I wasn't, clearly.
Hey, was there something you needed?
No, nothing. We'll hang on to that skill point until I have something I want to do. A 3-shot revolving barrel Vier's LaSalle pepper box, typically assigned to officers of the RCM upon reaching the rank of sergeant. The butt of the gun is worn, and the engraving on the side reads, "Sunrise, Parabellum. This is your gun. No doubt about it." Hardy and the pigs. Alright, so tomorrow. Should I just go to bed for now? Are there anything on the map? Let's run over the backyard wall again. Yet again. This is a difficult roll that I've failed many times. It also occurs to me, I'm not sure if I have to load the gun and like have it in hand already before I begin a conversation. Possible. Okay. Please make the roll. Finally. Because you see it, finally. This wall is sublime. Look at it. The shadows, the colors. Let conceptual joy flow into your pupils and blossom into thoughts in your brain. All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft, color peeled from the very face of God. Oh, Wallfather! Kim, I must paint this wall. Add even more beauty to it. Huh? He sounds tired of it all. You already have the heavy fuel oil that I didn't sell because I'm smart. Cindy the Skull has a paintbrush. This is on. First, I know you're tired, Kim, but take another look at this wall. Draw nourishment from its beauty. Sure. I already have the paint. Just need to get a paintbrush from Cindy the Skull. If you must. Okay, so apparently we have to get into a whole time travel debate here. Okay. Half past X, you drop the past. Because we say half past X as well. We never drop the past, though. So that's why it sounds weird. Quarter toward? Get out of here! Are you guys okay? Did you fall and hit your heads collectively as an entire nation? Quarter towards 3 when it's 2:15? Nonsense. And yeah, what Serp is saying makes sense to me, aside from saying half Y, which we just don't say at all. We don't say before. I guess we say 2. We'll say like it's 10 to 5. Like it is 10 minutes until it is 5 o'clock. This is the part that's most annoying to navigate for some reason. You just can't walk right through there. It doesn't let you. Good night, Kim. So they got me my gun, but I don't know what to do now. Using a thermodynamic expander condenser cycle. Nice. That's the heat thing. I don't need to shave again, do I? No. The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum of the organic heater, you fall asleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, then, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
Just let me sleep.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately?
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people and then forgets about it.
Have I killed someone and forgot about it? Okay, so I'm a murderer, and that's
Hear
bad.
that? He doesn't even flinch. Iceman doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing to him. Blackwater, under the bridge. The thing he's really scared of.
The limbic voice is really creepy? I don't think so. I think, like, we heard it really early on in the game, and I was immediately like, it sounds too affected.
It's much, much worse than that.
What is it?
Don't tell him, sister. It's too bad.
They're right. This is their function, to keep you from it. Why are you doing this? I just want to sleep. I can almost see the dark.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream, the worst of them all.
Oh, you're right. Yes, I've got the I forgot about that. 3 notches on the ledger that I've definitely killed 3 people as a cop.
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
Her face forms in some return.
Hell, an ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay.
Doesn't sound
Your
like it'd be
eyelids
okay.
flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
I didn't set an alarm. The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church. A strange thing to say. Good morning.
Yes?
Can I ask her about pigs?
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
Further up the coast we go then. Are you sure you wouldn't rather stay here instead? Get a nice cozy fire going in the heater? She drops the rag into the bucket. It's clean now. Seems like a better idea to me. The felled electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time. The mural on the building? Which is where exactly? Right here. Oh, you have to go around. Of course you do. Check this trap again. Holding out hope that one day a few locusts trudge along the wall of the trap. The rest are piled in a heap in the corner, dead. No phasmid anywhere. Wait, is this it? Fell electric mural? No, this is the wrong one. We already saw this. Check this trap since we're here. Trap is filled with dead and dying locusts. Most of them aren't moving anymore. You still can't see a phasmid anywhere. Oh, there it is. That was close. Alright, so those two buildings are right next to each other. I'll have to remember that. Step closer. Above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also fall, and the coastal breeze rustling and sighing in the remains of the edifice. Felled electrical. How ironic. All these dark rooms. Felled Electrical. You only know them as a small company that makes ink cartridges. Looks like they used to be big. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first. Why do I feel like I know this place? Indeed. Somehow you knew it was here, an urban ruin gutted by looters that once used to consume money and dispense warmth and light. Could Ruby be in there? In there? She could be. Or, the lieutenant points behind you, she could be in the identical ruin over there, or in that boat shack, in that church tower maybe. Why single out this one building? Well now, an impossible role, but we found the empty trap. What? Found the empty trap. Hurdling's true story. Reconstructed the execution over there at the other building. Confronted pigs. Death notification. I don't know what that is. Can I get some shivers points? Shivers. Yeah, I have such a gigantic bonus to that. I'm curious as to what, like, this is going to be some ghost thing, right? Shivers is going to be like, it's ghosts. It's the phasmid. Oh, and here's the cap. cap is sturdy and comfortable, and seems to retain its form very well. It fits you perfectly. The inside of it smells like cheap tobacco and typewriter ink. It feels familiar somehow. Perhaps it too is yours, though how the pigs got it is a mystery. Now I'm interested in what this Atlas alt tag sprech. Oh, I can't read it. Well then, I'm less interested in it now. I thought it would be visual. I thought it was something to look at. Beep. Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb. What was I even attempting to do here? Trying to talk to the wind? The city? Whatever you thought would happen did not. And now you're just standing here in the pale of the morning with your hands fallen to your side. This is interesting too, to throw to throw a roll there and be like, there's a bunch of certain things that give you a bonus to this roll, and you succeed, and okay, it was just, there was nothing there to begin with. Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire, a trick for when you're out of ideas? She could be anywhere. How do we find her? How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. Okay. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. He looks north. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography at least. And then there's the church. He looks at the bell tower. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion is a step too. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village. And if that fails, if we don't find her, then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that. He looks behind him, the dark red box crumbling across the chasm. Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look where it already got you. An adventure awaits. An adventure on the windswept urban coast. Massive compendium of differences in regional slang. So there's a quiz that I know that you can take where it asks you a bunch of like, how do you refer to a group of people? Do you say you or you all or you guys or yins or y'all? And, you know, it's like 30 questions like that, and when you're done, it points to, like, the exact place on the map where you live, and it is accurate. for America. Or where you grew up. It names 3 cities, I think, and when I did it, it was like, boop, 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 like right where I am and live, and grew up. So now that I've listened to that Shivers thing, what else? Let you explore the data? Possibly. I think it might. Alright, so that was unexpected that that there was a difficult listen to the wind roll that, again, is it mandatory? Was it something that I actually had to do? It could have been. I like this. Well, there's the patrol cloak, and there's... No, I like that. Paid good money for all this foul equipment. Might as well wear it. Should I start wearing that hat? Just constantly playing dress up. Many of the things in this game seem mandatory, and after you're done with the game, yeah, I also want to do that same thing. Go through and see, like, if you never do this, is there a way to still win? Is there a win condition to the game at all? What is this thing anyway? We've already seen this. Dead and dying locusts. Empathy did not find it sad that time. I must have rolled a 1. I mean a 2. Yeah, that too. The various little, what do they call them? Thoughts? If you never do any of the thoughts, what happens? Real quick, talk to the people in the church again. Why not? Or talk to one of them. The other guy never came back. The guy up in the rafters. If I come over here, do I get an option to call him? No. Heaven's Vault, which I have never heard of. Although at this point, like, I'm almost unwilling to ever believe that any game will capture this strange vibe. Hey, her innocence, Dolores Day, like little figurines, right? Like holding little men between her fingers, remember? What? You have the headless fallen rider figure. You should give it back to her. Win her back. Win who back? I can't win her back. She's a long-dead historical figure. Don't be so pessimistic. Love doesn't die that easily. So very, very nifty. Nifty and mysterious. Surely this is surely what the figurines are for. Reaction speed, what are you even? Why does reaction speed want me to offer her figurines? You should offer her any and all you have one day if you meet her in person. What an odd task to give yourself, but here we are. Was this always here? Hang on. Ask around. There are people to the west of the mural. Or, I don't know, ask a girl on a date. Then ask her. Ask the wind, maybe? Is actually taking her on a date necessary in order to find Ruby? It could be. You've seen an exceptionally beautiful wall in Martinez near the pier and have decided to add to its beauty artistically. This will take a brush first. Who would have one? Then paint, then the act itself.
Yes, what is it?
Anyone suspicious woman named Ruby? No. Alright, so maybe I just have to ask the wind again. Heaven's Vault. Did I write it down on a piece of paper, which I then threw into the sun? That sounds like something I would do. Also strange to think that if I had failed that red check, the what do you call it? The roll to grab the gun from her and failed. She still didn't have any bullets. Nothing would have happened. A lot of fun for them to, you know, come up with things like that. Get you all nervous and then go, if you fail, who cares?